Hello hookers and welcome to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy and today I'm going to show you how to make a little banana applique to put on your granny square. So if you have a 4mm hook and some yarn, let's get started. Again, I've got my 4mm. I'm going to start with the yellow to make the banana. You're going to chain 10. While you do that, I'd like to thank everyone so far for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please make sure you do so you don't miss any more of my videos. And make sure all notifications are on your phone or computer. There's different settings for both. And there will be a giveaway shortly. I'm just getting it all together, making sure I have everything I want for it, and also making sure everyone's aware of it because I have to do it over 3 platforms, so it's going to be interesting to set that up. Alright, now you got the chain of 10, so I just did not a slip stitch, but another chain, and then I went over into the second chain on the hook, and then half double crochet in each stitch across the chain. So you should have 10 half double crochets in total when you're done. I have my other 2 bananas made already, so I'm just going to show you how to do the one, but for this applique, you need 3 in total. Now if you're just doing, you could always just do 1 banana or 2, so make as many as you need. Sorry, I do apologize. The last stitch of this is not half double crochet. When you do get to the last stitch, it's going to be a slip stitch. So you should have 9 half double crochets, and then you're going to slip stitch at the end. It helps to form the banana a little bit better. And then before you turn, do a slip stitch. And then you want to skip over 2 stitches. So you're going to go over 1, 2, and then you're going to go in the third right there where I just pointed. Do a half double crochet. And then you're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And you want to do a double crochet all the way up to the second last stitch. And then you're going to do a half double crochet in the stitch after that. Sorry, almost got this little daydream in there almost. So after your double crochets, do that 1 half double crochet and then slip stitch in the end, and you're ready to move on. So I'm just gonna sew the little ends onto the back of the banana, since you're gonna be most likely sewing this onto the granny square. If you do not know how to make the granny square or would like to make the same one that I did, it's in another tutorial on my channel as well. Alright, so those are all sewn in the back of the banana. The little tiny piece of yarn is where the top of mine is, just so you know. And then I'm making the little brown part on the bottom of the banana. So just make sure you have your banana facing the proper way. Just gonna tie a knot since it's also going in the back. So I'm at the bottom of my banana, I'm gonna flip it over. And you can just sew the knot in the back. And you want to do that. You just want to do that 3 times in the bottom there. Sew through. You know, I've got a nice little brown part at the bottom of your banana. And again, you can go on the back and just fasten it off there. Just go on the back of a stitch. There we go. So again, I've made mine a bunch of 3, so I have 3 of these made all together. And there's the other 2. Okay, so we have the top of the banana there where they all bunch together. I'm going to do a magic circle, so chain 4. And then you can do a slip stitch at the end. And then another slip stitch. And then you're going to do a single crochet into the hole. And you're going to do that 10 times all together, not including, it doesn't count the first slip stitch as a stitch. Oh, sorry, it's actually 12. So used to using 10 in a magic circle. So 12 single crochet altogether, and you'll have a nice little round thing for the top of your bananas. So you slip stitch at the end, and you can fasten that off. Alright, so we're going to get ready to sew the bananas together, and then onto the patch, onto the granny square, sorry. Just kind of placing them here to see first how I want to bunch them together so they fit on the square and everything. So I forgot to mention also, I left a long train, I should have mentioned this earlier, I left a long enough piece of yarn on one of the bananas at the end to sew them together, or to sew them together and onto the square. I'm going to use the brown yarn to sew the piece onto the bananas. I just went into the back as well. So if you didn't leave a long enough piece on one of the bananas, it's not overly a huge deal either. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. But you can just cut a nice size piece of yellow and you'd be able to just hide the knot, or however you want to do it, weave it through so that it doesn't come out. And you can just sew the bananas onto the backing there. And I just went through the back of the stitches of the brown piece, just so they are all bunched together. I just actually had them in the wrong place myself there. Just adjusting them accordingly before I sew them. Also, I used the middle of the circle, of the magic circle, as a guide, the little hole. I sewed all the bananas underneath that on the bottom half of my brown piece. So just go into the, sew into the back of the brown piece and underneath the little magic circle is the middle of it. I'm just gonna go, that didn't work out as good as I planned. Just gonna fix that last stitch. And then I'm gonna turn and just go over the, where I sewed already. Alright, so yeah, just going over that quickly. It's not too many stitches to hold onto there, just so that they're attached to it, and then you can sew it onto your square. And you can just fasten that off in the back, just pull it through back of the stitches. Awesome. Now to sew it onto the granny square, if you would like, you can watch. I just wanted to make sure that if you're not sure how to sew it on, that it is in the video. So that's what I'm about to do right now. So if you're confident enough to sew your own bananas on yourself, then you don't have to watch the rest. But I appreciate you watching so far. If you would just want to watch to see how I put it on, then by all means keep watching. I do have my train, my tail, I mean, on my one banana there. So if you, I am going to leave it in the comments or somewhere in the description that hopefully everyone sees it. But I'll leave a little note to make sure that everyone notices that there should be a train, or tail, I mean, sorry, on the one banana. But if not, just get a yellow piece of yarn and attach it long enough there and just sew through the banana, and you just got to sew on the top of the granny square so it doesn't show through. And then when I get to the top there, I just sew behind the brown piece so that you don't see it either. The bananas are safe, you can just go in and out through the top, but make sure you go on the top of the granny square when you're sewing onto that so you don't see it through the back of your square. Okay, getting ready to fasten it off here, so I'm just going to hide the end yarn. Just going to tuck the needle underneath the applique, but not through the granny square, if you know what I mean. I'm just going underneath. And do that again through another stitch though. Awesome job. Just tuck that in. Thank you guys again for watching. There will definitely be more granny square videos. Awesome, guys.